What's up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
Pull out the card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right.
Now I can go back to minding my own business. Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like it.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Oh my goodness. Alabama, we coming to see y'all. What's up? It's Monday, and we have so much to talk about, and we're going to be very studious with our words. I'm lying. We're gonna go to work, y'all. Man, listen, the family's here, and the internet streets have given us solid gold. And we finna get y'all these 49ers in here, even though we got Cowboy and Green Bay fans, but we're going to be some 49ers today. Y'all, let me bring the family on. Brothers, and the one and only sister with her soul sister shirt on. What's up, brothers? Y'all all right?
What's good?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am,
Yes,
you
sir.
doing all right?
Pretty good.
I bought us a train ticket. We got to go to Alabama today. So,
Right.
but before we get there, you know what I'm saying, two things I want to let y'all know, ladies and gentlemen. We have talking point tip jars. So if you hear anything from us today, and I promise you there's plenty to talk about today, and there's a lot of stories we got going on. So if you see anything you hear from us, you want to let us know, please, by all means, there is the Cash App scrolling at the bottom. Send us a good little tip if you would, because we got some people we got to get out of jail in the next couple of days down there. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man.
What's up, Aaron?
Miss P, good to see you. Hello, everyone. Glad to see my fine-looking men and beautiful sister. Hey, man, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. And all the rest of you beautiful people backstage looking, it's all good. We love y'all, too. I'm not wasting time because I got a lot to talk about. So let's go, y'all. Listen, we're going to follow up on a couple of things. Sister, now listen, you keep prophesying to these folks, these streets now. And I again, we was talking about little Carly, and you said something about her boyfriend. You said he gone. and them girls was coming for him. So apparently they done caught him in the club with some women. Is this boy named Tomar, or whatever his name is?
I think it's Tomar.
Tomar. Okay, so I guess Tomar in the club now. They referring to him as Carly's ex-boyfriend. Now I don't know what happened, but apparently, sister, how did you know this boy was finna go off the rails on her?
Well, he allegedly was already cheating with some stripper before when this even happened. So he was already a hoe.
Oh, well.
And then when she lied and they broke up, and he started getting it was bound to happen.
Okay, well, yeah. So the shade room caught him in the club, and I guess is he Facebook famous, or is he a local celebrity? I don't. What we call him, Black?
I think they're booking him for a club
event. Yeah. He having his Instagram moment.
Okay. Well, listen, I hope he got another pass. Well, never mind. I don't remember all that. Okay, well, so yeah, again, sister called it. I just wanted to let y'all know that he is single and looks like he's ready to mingle. So, okay. Yeah. One more thing I want to talk about. We're gonna follow up with Jamie Foxx again. I guess he still won't tell us what happened. That's cool. We get it, Jamie. We already know what happened, but it's all right. But apparently he made a statement about Jesus. And apparently Jennifer Aniston, I didn't even know this was an issue. She liked it, and then that set a whole flame of fire on this whole anti-Semitic thing. I mean, Black, what happened?
If you don't know, unless you've been under a rock, the two biggest movies out right now, Barbie and Oppenheimer, and they're feeding off of each other. They propelled each other to $1 billion. Barbie's made $1 billion.
She did.
And so in this economy with the strike, so Jamie Foxx made a comment that if they killed, because Oppenheimer, you know what the movie's about. So he said, if they killed Jesus, what you think they'll do to you? And Jennifer Aniston, she liked the comment, but here's what shouldn't be new to anybody. There are certain classes of people you cannot say anything against. They can't find out one. You can't say anything against the transgender people, the LGBT community, and Jewish folks. Now we laugh and joke. They really do run Hollywood. That's the open secret in reality. Steven Spielberg, Katzenberg, these cats like that. So anytime you make a comment like that, even though it really isn't in of itself anti-Semitic.
Right.
Where's the line? It killed Jesus Christ. So why has it become a lie to speak a fact anymore? The same way now, Devin, you're not as much of a woman as a transgender man. We live in a society now where we can't tell the truth, and we have to apologize quick, because if we did, career down the drain. And Jennifer Aniston as well. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. Twitter comes for you quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bam, I'm so glad you're here, because we're gonna need some on the site reporting here in a little bit about that brawl in a little bit. Just hold on. So it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Do either one of y'all other two care about Jamie and this? Oh, I didn't think so.
I mean, yeah, I care. I'm with Black. I don't think he should apologize. He didn't say nothing wrong. I think reading is fundamental. I think if people used to watch Saturday morning cartoons like I did, and conjunction, junction, and all, what's your function? Comprehension. If you really read his tweet, it was nothing in that anti-Semitic whatsoever.
Yeah, I was confused. That's why I don't.
That's why. Yeah, I don't. They say we sensitive. I don't think we ain't the most sensitive people. It's some other people that's sensitive. But if I say their name, guess what? Then I gotta apologize.
Yes, indeed. Right. What you finna say, sister?
I said I was just so confused. I was like trying to dig deep in my soul to figure out what he said.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Jamie grandma be rolling over her grave right now. She heard but again, if y'all want some Bible, here you go. Here's your 1 minute message. The love of money is the root of all evil, and apparently Jamie loved that money more than he loved that Lord. So,
and he ain't the only one either.
I know it.
Apologizing going on.
I don't know. So okay, all right. What you say? Don't even. I don't even know what he said. He said, well, yeah, Black said it, that I guess the movie talking about killing. I don't know what did that bomb? Who did that bomb kill? I don't know.
Yeah, the nuclear age, but he made an innocuous comment that well, hey, if they would kill Jesus, and what they'll do, and if you think about it, there's nothing wrong with that. That if anything, like to your point, Brother Kenny, if zealots, he could have meant it in that way. If zealots will go far as to kill a perfect human being, I'm nobody.
That's basically what he was saying, right?
You know what I'm saying? But rather than look at it that way, you're impugning Judaism with that comment. That's how it ran, and you can't do that in today's age. You can't do it.
It is what it is. All right, y'all. Listen, we got so much more to talk about, so y'all just hold on tight. We rolling to Alabama. We're going through Oklahoma right now, so just give us a second. Well, actually, we're going to New York City. So listen,
my city.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. I hope this ain't none of your boys. That was this kid. I don't know, Kai Sinet. I don't know who these people.
Yeah.
So
he's a I heard of him just after this.
He's a social media influencer, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all gonna hear this theme, this little contrast. So apparently, I say indicted, but I guess they arrested him, or he had to turn himself in or whatever, and they filed charges. They about to give him a felony for, guess what? Inciting a riot. The problem is that he had like 20 million followers. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's about 20 million, I believe.
Yeah, and so he told these people that he was coming to New York City, Manhattan, and that he was going to give away PlayStations and gift cards to Apple. And so apparently the police in New York, they weren't aware of it, and all these kids came and they started tearing up stuff. I really don't understand why people come and they do that. I don't know if it was because they didn't see him and they ended up jumping on top of his SUV and all this. And this is the interesting thing for me, and I'm gonna let the family have it. I really don't understand how easy it is for one part of the justice system to really see the truth right in front of them and be able to call a spade, and within 48 hours you can file charges to somebody for inciting a riot. It looked very similar to the one that was done in Washington, D.C. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm just saying. But it take you 2 to 3 years to figure it out for this other situation. But I digress. I get it. The boy got dreads. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it at that. So I mean, Black, this your city. What's going on? Why this boy doing all this foolery?
Honestly, in my personal opinion, this was a classic house party that went amok.
Right. That's right.
He's famous, but I don't even think he truly realized the impact that it was going to be to that extent. You know, these young kids, and he was doing something at best, hoping for a viral moment. You know what I'm saying? But then the giveaway, and now you put a bunch of unruly young people together. You said, why was they breaking stuff up? Because that's what this generation does.
Yeah.
You know, you put them all in one place and realizing now you don't have enough to give away to the amount of people that showed up. And so this generation, they do what they did. And you asked about my family. I had cousins and dumbasses that was out there right in the midst of it. You know, my sister Sherry, she was like, I'm not going nowhere near there, because they was out there acting a damn fool as they do. Now, without being long-winded, you know what? As sad as this is, they have to make an example of him, in my personal opinion. You know, they have to hold him accountable, because if you don't, you're setting the precedence for it to happen again. And the last thing New York City needs, with all the stuff that they got going there, is to let this go unpunished. But to your point, how can you do it on a small local level and justice is swift when all of we were all witnesses the day it happened on January 6th? The whole world saw it, and yet we're still sitting here with no real punishment to the person who incited it. But that's, once again, money and power.
Yeah, sister, I'm gonna get this to you. Lamb Levy make a good point. He says, sounds like he was also trying to do good by giving back. But are we putting this on ignorance? He could have did all that online.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew how famous he was. I don't think that was really intentional. I think that you have celebrities all the time who say, I'm having like a book signing at the mall, and then people show up and they line up and they sign the book and shake hands or take a selfie with the celebrity, and they go on. And I also, maybe he didn't realize the type of people that were following him and what they would do. I don't think he did it like that. I think he just wanted to be famous and viral and go out and have some people holler and act a fool over him and go on. I just wish he would have done it during local elections at the polling place and told them, after you come out from voting, you know, you can put your number in here to try to win a PlayStation or something, because he clearly has a lot of power and influence and the ability to get people out to do stuff. I just wish people would sometimes use their powers for good. I'm just saying, look at the reach that he has. I wish he would have done something positive with it because people come out for certain things. And I was kind of impressed, if I'm going to be honest with you, that he was able to do such a thing. And I didn't even know who he was.
Kenny, I'm going to give it to you like this. Black has said it many times before. What did you say? The fools are many? Or something you always say.
One fool makes many. My mama say.
Listen, and if that was a situation, one fool made many fools. And I mean, can he use the defense? He want the same treatment as his 44th president made. Can he use that?
No, he can't use that because of this right here. He ain't that tone, so he can't use that one. I'm with all of y'all on one specific point, though. One thing I think we kind of missing here. The young man is 21. I think when you do something like that, wisdom would tell you to reach out to someone that maybe has done that before and say, hey, look, I got this idea. I want to give away PS5s and stuff in a big manner. What is the best way to do it? That's what he should have done. You got to go through the protocols when you want to do that kind of stuff. You got to go through City Hall and get ordinances and get your permits when you do stuff like that. Obviously, again, I'm not going to beat the young man over the head. No. You probably don't know. He just didn't know. No. It was a good thing he wanted to do. But you know that old saying, a hard head make a soft ass. So today his ass is soft. So I guarantee you he won't do it again. Yeah. But again, don't beat the young brother over his head. I mean, no. I think he had good intentions.
He wasn't malicious. And the majority of his followers, you're talking about 16, 17-year-olds.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Stacy, you knew.
Hey, Miss Stacy, how you doing?
She says it wasn't intentional. Most of these children nowadays are ignorant with no home training. They need to leave. They need to leave him alone. I don't see nobody else giving stuff away. I agree with you. I think that the intent was sincere. I just think the application. Yeah, there
you go.
It went lacking.
It's constant, and it's consequences.
Yeah. And see, if you only had 100 followers, then it wouldn't have mattered, right?
Something has to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and there's consequences.
Yeah, he didn't know. Yes, he didn't. Well, he gonna learn today because guess what? That felony gonna be on his record for the rest of his life.
I wish they would just gave him a warning. I mean, my thing is,
and a big fine. It shouldn't be a felony.
And a big fine. It shouldn't be a felony. It should be a warning and a fine. But it is what it is.
It's Alabama's fault. Don't worry. Everything is tied to Alabama tonight. everything is tied to Alabama tonight. All right, listen, y'all. I got to get him in early because we got something to talk about. But Brother Kenny, go on hit us with them sports, bro, because we got stuff to talk about.
Yeah. I won't be before you very long, like a Baptist preacher. Well, I know Kojic preachers be before you very long, so I can't even be Kojic. Right. So I'm gonna say Baptist. So we're gonna get through these sports real quick. I do want to mention real quick. I already told the fam that Richard Sherman looks like it's gonna be the new co-host with Skip Bayless on Undisputed when it comes back on air on August 28th. Yeah. We were kind of discussing about his personality with it mesh. I think y'all made a good point. His personality is definitely not going to be Shannon Sharp, but I'm not expecting him to be Shannon Sharp either because I know that's a totally different beast. So we'll see how that works. I think they're going to be they are in last place in my opinion on sports talk debate shows at this point anyway. So exactly. we'll see what happens with that. But we got to talk about another young man that I don't know why he thought this was a good idea, but this young brother out of Clemson, former Clemson Tigers 4-star prospect TJ Dudley was kicked off the team a couple of weeks ago. He's now enrolled. He entered the transfer portal. He's now at Ole Miss, but he was kicked off the squad because guess what he did, fam? He took unauthorized pictures of his Clemson teammates in the locker room, and he posted it to his OnlyFans page to make money off of his teammates' pictures. And there was a team meeting. His teammates wasn't happy about it. Coach wasn't happy about it, and he got to get out of there.
Got to go.
I'm not telling y'all a lie. This actually happened. I got to go to my sister first. What is your thoughts on this story right here, Miss Devin?
He clearly hadn't been in school that damn long. Did he ever show up to class? Because he didn't have no good damn sense, and nobody with common sense would do something that dumb. He went to school for lunch and recess because the boy's a fool. Who would do something like that and think it ain't no consequences for it? That just don't make any sense to me. Like, I was hoping you would say he was just playing and they knew about it, because that don't make no sense. He didn't even go to class.
Yeah. And he was not playing. The Lamb Levity ass is that felonious? Technically, it could be. That could be. Obviously, they didn't press, unless they pressed charges. They could have, but they didn't. He just was kicked off the team, and again, he transferred to another team, Ole Miss. So that's my question to you, Black. If you're an Ole Miss football player and this dude is coming in, and he been taking pictures of his naked teammates, how you gonna feel about this cat coming in? What's your thoughts on that, Black?
Keeping it 100% and honest, how talented is he?
He was a red. He was a red.
I was with the old way. I'm sorry.
And so here's the thing. I was asking it, not as a real question. If talent, this has always been the way with sports. Talent trumps foolishness and effery.
Right.
If you're that talented, you might be a dumbass, but yeah, come on, partner. Come on, partner, because if you're going to make my team better and whatnot, now, of course, we're going to get you in the side and tell you can't do this, that, and the other, but I'm welcoming you with open arms because the sports annals are filled with dumbasses who've gone from one team to the next. D'Angelo Russell comes to mind. But anyway,
but I'm specifically asking you, if you were a player, would you trust him as a teammate?
No, I wouldn't personally, but this speaks to a microcosm of what society is. Nothing is real until it hits social media. Mm-hmm. And more marriages, relationships, and everything else has come to light now because everything has to be posted. I'm telling my age here because I miss the good old days when you could go out somewhere and creep and never have to worry about being caught on somebody's camera or whatnot. A few months ago, right on this show, we talked about Freaknik. There are aunties and grandmothers right now that's living in shame because it's being shown what they did some 20 years ago. And so you take a young person in this social media age, now you add to that they can make money off of their likeness and images. What you expect him to do? Now, pure and simple, he just need his ass lit up. They should have just lit that ass up. Pure and simple.
He might have wanted it.
That's a whole.
We ain't going down that rabbit hole. We're not going there, Brenton. We're not going
Okay. My bad.
Let me ask you this, Brenton. Should Lane Kiffin, who is the head coach of Ole Miss,
my goodness,
should he have brought this young man in? Should he have allowed him to transfer to Ole Miss?
Well, just given the fact of who Lane Kiffin is, he probably asked him to take some pictures of his teammates. His players, just because Ole Miss, Ole Sis, whatever you want to call him, that may be par for the course down there in Mississippi. I don't know. So they need to raise funds in Mississippi, right? More than they do. So right. I don't know. I'm with Black. See, when the locker room. See, the joke always depends on who's telling it in the locker room. If it's funny, if the quarterback get a joke, everybody's laughing. But if the second string tight end giving a joke, it may not be that funny. So it's all about popularity. You know what I'm saying? Because if the right dude is doing it, everybody keeps their mouth shut. They may say it's some type of way in their mind, but depending on who it is, who the name is, like, oh man, he be tripping, bro. Cut that out, man. You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's how the locker room is. So apparently this dude didn't have no clout, so it wasn't funny. You know what I'm saying? So right. That's ultimately what that culture is like. It's about who told a joke or right. who did the offense. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, if that's the person that's gonna give us the most points, then we overlook stuff. We overlook a lot of stuff, like you right. said. So, but I guess he ain't that good.
Well, yeah, again, he was a redshirt freshman, and he had only played in 4 games last season, so it wasn't like he was a star. But he has potential. Well, just heads up, we don't know if he made any money off those pictures or not. I couldn't find any information if there was money made off of those pictures. I'm assuming that he deleted that OnlyFans account. I'm assuming, but we'll see. I'll keep my eye on that story. So, all right, fellas in the locker room. Y'all make sure who y'all teammates are. Make sure they, be careful in them locker rooms. Somebody might be trying to take some pictures of your Johnson and make some money off of it. So y'all be safe out there in them locker room streets, fellas. All right. That's my sports segment. I'm out of here.
All right. Well, listen, we moving upstate now. We getting around to Louisiana. Hold on, we getting there, y'all. Hold on. Where we at next? Oh yeah, Lizzo. Now I know it's a little old, and but I just felt the need to I don't really understand what she did to them. But I do know that she lost a lot of followers, and she wanted to speak out. So this is very different from me because I don't want to start saying stuff like that. But I mean, sister, what was it? They said she was bullying them and assaulting them sexually.
Two big ass girls that live on
and we're off.
They got in their feelings because Lizzo didn't want to work with them no more. So they was two disgruntled ass, overweight ass, turkey wing eating ass that started talking bad about her and all the stuff they so-called made her do. They say they was in Amsterdam and Lizzo was making them eat bananas out of nasty cooches and eat stuff that women was shooting out their cooches. And if they didn't participate in the fun, she didn't take them on the best trips and all that stuff. But then one of the fat ass girls, like right after that, auditioning to be on the watch out for the big girls or whatever with Lizzo again, talking about how much she loved Lizzo and want to be Lizzo, and had the nerve to say that Lizzo fired her because she was fat and Lizzo fat as well. So none of it makes sense. And I think they just all broke and big boned and need to find something to do. And it's dumb. It's dumb. It's just frustrating today because I feel like you can't hire nobody, you can't do nothing for nobody because as soon as you fire them or don't want to fool with them or you don't pick them, then they be in the background telling on you. And I mean, literally the fat ass girl said Lizzo fired.
See, again, that's the point I'm making earlier. I couldn't have said that, right? Because they
you could have said that.
That's right. So that's exactly. Bama had it right. If I'd have said it, I'd have been fat shaming somebody. So I wasn't gonna do that. Yeah. So I mean, Black is Lizzo. I don't know.
I think she do a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. But I personally don't believe there's a such thing as gay and straight up. Say that a million times. I think people like what they like when they like it. And so, in this case, I'm gonna take up for a fat lizard looking ass. In this case, a welcome to fame. I agree with what Sister Devin says. When you covet fame,
right,
there's a price.
It's a price.
There's a price. Climbing that ladder to fame to where you get to that place where you start believing your own hype and you're untouchable. You're on the level of Beyonce. Well, you know what comes along with that? What you just mentioned, Sister Devin. Because now, when you're on that pedestal now, and you got there, now there's those people there that are looking, the faster they raise you up, they'll bring you tumbling back down because of what you said, that this is about money and attention. Now, the truth of the matter is, I don't care what the fat bitches did when they was in different countries or whatnot, eating out of coochie's holes and whatever else. And they ought to be happy that somebody attracted to their fat ass, to be honest with you. But having said that, they going after her for money at this stage. And now all of a sudden she's having to face the wrath of that. And the realism is hitting her that you're not as loved as you were purported to be. Those same people who talk about fat shaming and she's special. Once again, I'm sure in my age, I miss the good old days when you can call a fat bitch and it'd be real. I'm a fat bastard. I know this. I'm not offended by that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But we tell everybody now that you're special and we can't do the snap. These fat bitches is drawing attention to themselves, and God bless them. And they ought to just all sit down and share a meal and be happy somebody interested in their fat ass.
Okay, Kenny, I'm gonna try to get this to you. I know, but is this just the highest level of hypocrisy? Because one of the things that they said they were saying was that Lizzo was tripping on them about gaining too much weight. But I thought that was the whole platform for them big girls.
Right.
I just didn't get it, but I don't know, man. Go ahead.
I didn't get it either. It sounded like a big
sure did.
No pun intended. It sounded like a big money grab to me. Beyonce took her out of the song. Yes, she sure did. And the question is, you got on the banner, is Lizzo crazy? No, I don't think she's crazy. I think she's her ego has grown so large. Now she's an egomaniac. She's loving Lizzo to the 1,000th degree, all 350 pounds of her. I don't know how much you weigh. And y'all can be
number,
mad,
Doc.
but well, to me she looked 350, you know. but that's the thing. And then these other women, you know, they just feel some type of way. I think, she fired you because y'all not doing what you're supposed to do. Now you want to come back and say that she's been doing all these things and making you do this. But y'all, last I checked, y'all all over 21. Can't nobody make you do nothing you don't want to do. So you're grown. So quit trying to bash this Lizzo. No, Lizzo ain't crazy. She's probably difficult to work with. I did read where some woman that was going to do a documentary with her pulled out because she's difficult to work with. So I would agree. I would believe that. But no, the other fat chicks need to go to a fat camp or something and try to lose some weight.
I think honestly where Lizzo messed up is she didn't realize how famous she was, because I almost guarantee you Beyonce is not hanging out with her dancers and the help. Beyonce is hanging out with her sister and close friends. She hanging out with the help, expecting them to act like her friend. Beyonce, you probably can't even go in the building or the city she is.
And no phones.
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Beyonce is famous for
phones. Yeah.
You know who's been doing that for the better part of 30 years? Eddie Murphy.
He sure has.
Way back from the 80s.
Yeah.
That's why thank you, sister.
They should have signed NDAs before they even came in her space. That's where she messed up at. She didn't realize who she was. So that's her fault. Lesson learned.
It's her fault. Well, you know, we've said enough bad things. What you said, if for every 4 negative, you're supposed to say 8. I only got 1 positive. I'm just trying to sum. She carries her weight well.
No, she don't.
Yeah, she.
Lizzo is extremely talented. Don't get me wrong. I think she's extremely talented. I think she carried her weight well, but I
don't say extremely. No, I won't say extremely.
Y'all stop lying on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna say extremely. I'm talking about the talented part.
And she be dancing. And she got a lot of energy. She seemed like a lot of people ain't employing women, you know, to go on tour that look like that. Like, who you know, if you a dancer or a famous singer, you can go on tour and you can eat Burger King and shit the whole time. Ain't nobody gonna let you do that. They should. I mean, you got to give her some props for who she is, but she needs to make sure they eat Burger King.
I can't give her no points for just being fat and young. You know, that fat bastard is just young and fat, and I can't give her credit for that. I'm not gonna say she's extremely talented. You know.
Okay. All right. I don't think Kenny was under. Okay, well, I don't know how big the girl is. I just know
I was under on 350. Okay,
she's just thick and she can blow a flute. All right, that's talented enough for me. All right. Well, we pulling on into Bama Station. Let's roll tide. So listen, y'all. I want to introduce a new national holiday for the year 2024. Because we always have something we celebrating each year. So I just want to celebrate this man right here. Do y'all know who Nathaniel Alexander is?
Yes.
Nathaniel Alexander is the inventor of the folding chair. I just want to say for next year, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce for the month of August, August the 5th, maybe, that we deem August the 5th, 2024 national holiday on behalf of Mr. Nathaniel Alexander. You know why? Because that was an event that took place just a couple of days ago, and I want to talk about it. So again, I'll tell you what. Let's just show the videos right quick, and then let's just talk about what happened in Bama Girls Town. How about that? Here's video one,
which shows the fight just feet from water. A witness claims it started because a pontoon boat was blocking the dock where a riverboat was trying to park. You can see more people jumping in as that fight played out. Well, soon after, Montgomery police arrived at the scene. They say a large group of people were involved in this brawl. Our crew saw people in handcuffs. MPD says several people have been detained and any charges are pending tonight.
Oh my God.
Nathaniel Alexander, sir, you have just became famous. Every black person in this country. I ain't gonna start with Kenny because he's gonna give us a history lesson. So hold on. Sister, what did you think about this video?
Man, I just want to shout out Aquaman because when little bro jumped in that water.
Now wait a minute.
Could swim like that.
And he got out of there and then did nothing.
Huh?
He got out the water and did nothing.
He did.
He was fighting when there was a big ruckus, but right then he didn't do that. But in his defense, he only 16, and he was probably waiting on somebody to call his name. He just a kid. But the fact that little Aquaman was able to get in there and swim all the way over, lose a shoe and keep it moving. And I also want to give props to the commentator. When I first watched it, I was a little like, ooh, upset. And then I got excited. And then I got worried because I'm like, ooh, we're going too far. It's turning into something else. I think if they would have just got 1 or 2 licks, everybody could have just moved on with their life. You know what I'm saying? Like just knock them upside the head a couple times. But then I started getting worried because I'm like, I don't want nobody to go to jail. So that's how I was thinking. Because, we don't how it don't always turn out the same way for us as it do others. So that's what I was worried about. And when Bro grabbed that chair.
It worked, didn't it?
Like,
every lick was 1 count.
That shirt stayed intact too, because I saw people taking selfies with it later on and posted it on social media.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna start by saying this. I saw this from 2 different vantage points. I saw this from the vantage point of the justice system, and I saw this from the vantage points of the streets. And I'm gonna just tell you something. I'm gonna give this to you, Black, and then you can just tell me how you feel. Everybody was at fault. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the security guard, he was being very demonstrative towards these boys. And then the folks on the boat, they started singing Ludacris song. Move, get out the way. So they were already inciting these boys. And again, I think I didn't have a large amount of sympathy for him just because of how he was kind of hyping himself up, throwing his hat. I mean, you didn't even land something real good, bro. It's like, okay, so again, but here's where it turned, right? When they started brawling him. And I think that's where everybody began to start getting excited, right? And started getting they started fit because we saw Emmett down there, we saw Rodney down there, we saw George down there, we saw a lot of some of our friends down there that all of those white guys was beating up on that dude at that moment. So we'll keep talking through it. Go ahead, Black. Just go ahead, take me through.
Now, I can't necessarily disagree with your take in terms of who's at fault, but I'm gonna take it back even further. What I saw after I get past the laughter of it,
sure,
because so for me, I see it under two lenses. I'm looking at it in the lens of humor, and then I'm looking at it in the lens of something serious. The humorous part for me is where normally I would be like, we're not supposed to celebrate a brawl or fight. I've never been prouder. I was just as proud of that incident when Obama took office. In my lifetime, to see a black man become president, I was proud to see black people stand together and pull together to fight back, in this instance, when clearly there was a mob that had attacked a black man. And it was great. God sue me for, I'm sorry if you want to say it, people want to get angry with me, but it was great to see my bros, street vengeance, do what street vengeance does, because to your point, this was a street brawl. This wasn't a boxing ring with no fair fighting. They did what needed to be done, because if you want to step in that arena, we're going to show you how it's done. And I was proud of my people, and that says, and proud especially that they beat them white bitches too. They didn't take no pity, and they didn't show no distinction between a man and a woman. He cracked that bitch across her head with that chair and slung that other bitch in the water. And I couldn't be happier. And that's going to be a reel in my life to give me much laughs and humor. It's going to bring me much satisfaction through the rest of my days. Now, on a more serious note, this was a long time coming, because what this spoke to for me was you had a president. I'm going to pinpoint this to an individual who opened up an ugly scab and emboldened white people since that time, to the point where they truly, I blame that. And this has been boiling over. This has been a toxic mix that's been waiting to happen, an open scab, where, you got a lot of these white people out here now thinking that they can call you an N-word, that they can say these things to you. And now that, just as bad. And I have always been inside angry a little bit that I'm tired of turning the other cheek. I'm tired of these videos where we just hold out a phone. I've said, I live in flat out fear when I go to some stores in public, because I'm not a pull out phone kind of guy. You stand in my way, I'm going to slap the shit out of you and knock you down, and I'm going to be viral. Because this whole notion that some kind of way you can talk to us any old kind of way, and that if the role was reversed, Brother Brenton, and it was a white security guard, because we see it with policemen all the time, a full mob of black people standing there when a black man or a black woman is getting slung to the ground, and they're telling them to get back. And I get angry every time that we adhere to it. I'm not advocating killing police, but I'm so sorry, and I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry, sue me. There's many parts of me that wish that when you see a black person getting slung to the ground and their knees on their neck, do what you got to do. We got guns too. Fuck that.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Kenny bring his position in, because I want to bring up another point. Go ahead, bro. Tell us what you came up with.
Oh man, I felt the spirits as I was looking at these shenanigans. This go down. I felt the Nat Turner spirit. I felt the Harriet Tubman spirit. I felt the Huey P. Newton spirit. I felt the Fred Hampton spirit coming through my brothers and sisters down there in good old sweet home Alabama, getting it done. It just so happens to be where they were getting it in. That was where some of our ancestors were slaves and brought into that particular area in Alabama. So I felt that the spirits was conjured up. They said enough is enough. We're gonna come together and we're gonna help our fellow brother. Now that was my thing. Is I was happy just to see us as a black people finally be on the same page and take care of one another. Don't matter if y'all don't agree with your religious convictions may be different, your sexual orientation may be different. but we still black and we still family. When we see one of our family members getting done in, let's get together, man. So that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to me. And 60 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to do that because guess what? We wouldn't have been able to fight back against white folks because they would have killed us right there on the spot. So it was a beautiful thing. And I'm not condoning violence. You know what I'm saying? I you know, violence isn't a good thing, but sometimes enough is enough. And number 44 caused all of this. I ain't gonna lie, I blame it all on former President Trump. Is because this is why we are where we are now in this country. So yeah, I feel pretty good about what happened down there in good old Alabama.
Listen, we don't come together for much, but listen, them boys opened up a key. They got a cheat code and they pop that up, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Ooh, but there's some dudes out there fighting. I think they said graduated like 76, and they was they gonna be hurting for some days.
What?
Oh, they need some acid high. The one that had that chair, they was like old fraternity brothers out there hanging out. Right. Ooh, you know, they felt it today though.
Yeah. And again, this is who we are as a culture. You know, we make fun, we make light. You know, everybody's doing the whole meme on social media, but this is the problem for me. This is the issue. This again, I looked at it in the streets. I saw it. That's what streets do. Had he been just fighting one of them, everybody would just been recording and just letting them fight it out. Right. But it's when they jumped in, then that's right. What again. It's what's not being said out loud that you saw, which is we tired. We don't like, as my boy said, the entertainer put it, we wish.
Right, we wish, right.
Yes, we wish. Right. So just ladies and gentlemen, y'all let y'all Caucasian friends know that what you saw in Alabama does come to a town near you. just so y'all know that. But this is what I'm actually saying. I feel the deterioration of just humanity. I'm not going to go as far, and I guess I could. We're going to incite a race war again, because all this does, whether it's that Jason Aldean song that they putting on, or whether it's us keep egging on about the chair now, you know. So now it goes from Karen to now the chair. You know, it's boiling over. And unfortunately, I want y'all to understand, whether it's one or two Americas, we don't come out on top in the justice system. So we're going to see, we may think it's funny now, but when they start handing out these sentences, they're going to, you know, that's the way they play the game. That big Fred Flintstone, he took every lick that chair gave him. And he didn't drop not once. That's just certain things that they do, man. So I know we had fun, but you know, there are people that are going to retaliate in very passive aggressive ways. Yeah, Black, go ahead.
Just a quick comment, and then we don't even have to go down this rabbit hole, cause like me, you and Brother Kenny talked about earlier, I think this should be a bigger conversation for a whole show, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Because I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Everything you said is accurate, 100%. But here's the stance I take. Maybe a race war is exactly what we need. The reality is we live in two Americas. This is where I would love to debate you on this, because we live in two Americas. And the sooner we wake up and realize that the America we trying to live in ain't the one we should be living in, we have a lot more power than we want to accept and believe. And the truth of the matter is, you're right. As long as they're pulling the strings in the justice system, we're waiting on fairness from a game that's rigged from go. But the truth of the matter is, maybe they had it right a long time ago. You know what? You do your shit and I'll do my shit. And the reality is, you live over here, and if you think you can get along to your stuff, but I personally, as a 55-year-old man, I'm tired of wanting to be accepted. I'm not valid if I'm a singer until I get a Grammy Award. I'm not valid as a politician until I play your game. How about, you know what? How about we build our cities and do our thing over here, and we recognize we have our own power, and we keep our originality to ourselves. But we're the most openly sharing people on the face of the planet, and we're not getting our fair share. So I'm beyond. I don't want my 40 acres in a mule. Fuck that. You're not gonna give that to me. So guess what? Leave me the fuck alone. Let me build my wealth and do my education, do my thing over here, and you leave me alone. And I'm glad that, you know what, maybe we're at a point where it's time to fight back. Because guess what? We can't win. Gen Z is the last generation that is going to see where the white population is at a majority.
Yeah.
The numbers is not even in their favor. And so when you think about the institution of slavery and how mentally and emotionally that a slave master can have 400 slaves and have 10 people control them, we're still slaves to that mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
And so my thing is, guess what? I don't fucking want to live in Omaha and Utah. Y'all can have that. I live in Atlanta, and I'm okay with that. If I never visit Omaha, Nebraska, that's fine with me. If you want, we always want to go sometimes. It's okay. Every place ain't for you. And if you don't want me there, that's okay. Because I can do just fine here. I know I'm going off, but that's why I said this is a bigger show. But maybe a race war is exactly what we need, because sometimes shit need to get worse before it get better.
And I hear you. And I'll say this, and again, I mean, we got time for it. So I'm just saying this. Y'all remember Fred Hampton, as Kenny brought up, and just again, these people know everybody's secrets because they have your information through Google. They got your Facebook. They know, they got your text messages. They got everything about you. And what they do is they'll pit us against each other. And that's the only thing. What they did to them back there in Fred time, they can still do it today. And that's the thing. The only thing that brought us together is when we saw one of ours being ganged up on about people that we know that don't like us. That's it. That's all we saw. But when we want to start playing war, well, they outman us, they outgun us, they have more. I mean, it's like America going against Jamaica. Ain't no winning. So again, I'm not afraid like that. I'm just saying it's just we're our own worst enemy sometimes.
Part I agree with, and that's the part where I wish this would be the spark to wake up our minds that, you know what?
Yeah.
Since they do know all about us on Facebook and Twitter, why do we have to be on there? If you're Tyler Perry, if you're Michael Jordan, if you're Oprah Winfrey, why not create our own community? I jump ships in a minute if you created Facebook and it's just me and my people. I'm okay. Yeah. I don't have to have Twitter. Shit ain't real for me, but you don't see what I'm eating. I don't care about that kind of stuff. But the question, we don't stick together enough, and we don't pool our talents enough to even recognize that we have that kind of power. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Because my thing is, you take something, the sports guys right on this show, if the black NBA players simply band together in the next year and say, you know what, we're going to start our own league and we're going to divest. Kenny, what happens to the NBA?
Oh, it's no longer exists. They can't function. NFL too can't function.
And that's just one example. But to your point, Brother Brenton, we don't stick together.
All right.
We just don't stick together. And look, I'm a realist. I love what you're saying. Everything you're saying is 100% real. I just hope this is just a small spark. You said something a second ago. You said maybe that ass whooping is coming to a city near you. That's the hope that I'm only hoping for. That if it can happen in Alabama, let it. In the words of Martin Luther King, let it ring out in the mountain state of Georgia. Let it ring out in Arkansas. Let it ring out in Texas, because that's all I'm hoping for. That you want to start some shit, I got you.
Yeah, well, we never can throw a rock in the water and don't expect ripples. And the funny thing about that is black people don't like swimming. So Well, so, yeah.
Let me say one thing real quick, Black. I'm sorry, Brittany. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
I think in my mind, I've always said I thought integration was the worst thing that ever happened to Black America, in my opinion, to go with what Brother Black was saying. And number two, the state of Alabama is already dealing with a whole bunch of issues as far as the gerrymandering and them trying to kill the Democratic vote there. So I hope my people in Alabama, I hope this is a wake-up call that there's bigger work to do in Alabama. Yeah, I'm digging what happened with that, but now we got to get in these courts and get these racist politicians out of there, because they still setting up that state to where they the ruling class, man. So hopefully that's the next obstacle we got to fight down there in Alabama and in the South in general.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm done. The beauty in this moment is we all saw the same thing and thought the same thing. That's hope. And I'll just, but again, make this a national holiday next year. Oh, good plan. All right, y'all. Listen,
you learned something. I
yes,
love
it. Yeah. What'd you say, Demi? Demi says some of our people care about the approval of others, and we're the brands of those that could care less about us, and that's where we then begin to see everything take us down. So all right. Sister ain't got her drink with her today, so I think I'm all right. Yeah.
No, she just held it up. She just held it up, bro.
You just held up that drink. All right, listen, y'all. We got one of my favorite parts of the show. One word answers. I got some decent ones, but here you go. Here's on behalf of our Alabama folks, one word answers for me, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all ready?
$10 seconds.
Okay.
Sister, you got okay.
I don't know if I said it. Is that like the sexual assault Olympics? Like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Right, Black. What you think about that?
I'm with my sister. It's just interesting because I don't know the context. What's going on?
That was a lot of different cups too. That's a bad boy, Kenny.
That's a bad. Hey, I was gonna say that's a bad boy. I don't. Fingers. I don't know.
I've one-handed a few in my day, and that's
a bad dude. That's
I've never unsnapped a bra from a woman.
Oh, ever. You haven't? Oh, okay.
I don't even want to know what you did, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Confused.
Yeah, I know. All right, here go. I got one more for y'all. Here, check this out.
Done. Don't move.
Dumbass. That's the word.
He ain't ready for that job. I mean, did y'all check the mat out though? I mean, it kind of matched a little bit, but Kenny,
dummy. That's all. Dummy.
I mean, he got a nice pitch on him now. I mean, sister, would you let him date you?
I think he need to go work for the post office. Whatever job he trying to get, it ain't for him.
Yeah. Well, all right, that's what I got from the internet streets today. All right, sister, it's your time now. I'm really interested to hear about this one. So, who business you getting into today?
All right, y'all know me. I just mind a business that pay me. And then all of a sudden I come across a crazy lady named Ursula Campbell who walked into an Aurora.
That was her name?
Store. Ursula, that's her name. Make it make sense. And she said Lester Holt did whiteface and nobody said, and then she started harassing all the employees. She wanted to find the pride section. She looked like she had mud on her face, and she went on a rant, was harassing the people in Starbucks. and all of that. So all I want to know from y'all, if y'all were in Target minding y'all business and this crazy fool with blackface showing out ran up on y'all, do you even react to her? Do you ignore her? Do you video her? How do you handle this fool? Black, I'm gonna start with you.
I'm being so serious here. That's the fear I live in. I mean this in no joking way. I run my errands and I say a silent prayer that I don't find myself in those type of situations because I'm old school. I don't know I'm not quick enough to whip out my phone. I don't even have the cognitive ability to think, look at this damn woman or whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I'm out there minding my business. So seeing that, I would do my best to try to avoid her. But somebody put themselves, I would smack the shit out of her and keep walking. And for me, smacking a woman across her head, I don't give a shit. I'm not an abuser, nothing like that. But if you put yourself in that situation where you're crazy, and that's how I'm gonna perceive it, that you coming up to me without, I would imagine I would do my best, ma'am. But if you come up on me, I'm gonna lay that bitch out. Then I'm gonna be on social media as some big black man that done smack this stupid bitch down. But I live in that fear.
Cam Brenton, y'all ignoring her? You just gonna pretend like you don't see her?
I definitely gonna see her. But hey, Nihar, you doing all right?
What's up, Nihar?
Hey, sweetheart.
All right.
Hey,
what up, Craig? Yeah,
Craig.
ignore. I truly believe some of these, have serious mental issues, and that would be my point right there. I would ask her, does she pick up that Social Security check on the first? I mean, these people are so normalized now. I mean, mental health is so prevalent now. Like you can have a mental health just about for anything now. So I don't know. I do think she's on drugs. But yeah, you don't want to fool with them kind of people. You don't know if they got rabies or I don't know, scabies or whatever.
Ken, not only did she mention that Trump was on the way, whatever that means, but she also was recently fired from the post office, and they got her picture on the side outside the building with her face saying no trespassing. So because of all this, because the girl is cuckoo, do you just give her a pass and let her be?
Hey, Brenton, can you bring up the picture of the chairman of the board? Can you bring up the chair picture? Pop that chair picture up for me.
Gotcha. Yes, sir. That's what she got waiting on her.
Yeah, she gonna get some Nathaniel Alexander in her life. She walk up on me. So, does that answer your question, Miss Deb?
Right.
Well, the way I see it, she went to the right store because she couldn't have did this in Walmart.
Walmart.
Yeah, you're right about that.
She did good by going to Target. Because when you go to Target, you got a goal. You just gonna go. It's a different caliber.
That's true.
Yes.
Caliber of people, or it's a different caliber of money in there. So you let her go or whatever. Somebody like me, I pray to God she don't even acknowledge me, but I'm black, so she probably gonna target me. And so then you just pray. I pray that she don't come within arm's length of me, depending on what section of the store I'm in. And if I'm over there in Nathaniel area, it might not end well for her. But but for the most part, I'm gonna try to ignore because there's clearly something wrong with this lady. But I am the person, if she walked up on me, I either will I would hold my phone and record her. That way, when she come up on me, and if I do have slap shit out of her, I got, video to explain, but because I'm still black, I got video to explain why I slapped, not that they would know by looking at the fool, why I slapped the shit out of her with Nathaniel's chair. So then they would know why I had to put out her misery. But I would just tell her, can you go to Walmart with that? How long it last walking through?
Matter of fact,
Walmart.
go to Dollar General with that.
Right.
Anywhere. And so now I'm gonna go back to minding my business and praying she do before she get her ass whooped.
Right.
Matter of fact, go to a Aldi's with that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, go to one of them corner stores with that, please.
Man,
listen. Somebody be done took care of you in that alley.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, listen, y'all. School is starting. You guys, still one of your kids still in school? Oh man, that's how you doing all that traveling. Okay, well, I guess I'm the only one who got stuff. Well, school is starting this week, and I just want to say shout out to all the parents and you know, all the good things. I just had one question for you guys, and just to honor the kids going back to school. She said,
"No, she right, Stacey.
okay,
Yeah, she couldn't do that
so
in Detroit. It's going down in the deep.
So can't. In fact, they come between them booty cheeks. Anyway, yeah. So, just in light of school starting this week for the kids, and some probably already started, what are worrying about now in school that we didn't have to back in our days? What is the one thing that they worrying we didn't really have?
What are they worrying about?
Yeah, like, so what is most important to them, or what are some of the things that they're dealing with now in school that we didn't have to deal with, that, you know, kind of makes us, you know, just, yeah. What do y'all think? I know, man, I'm tripping.
Definitely school safety, man. Guns.
Yeah.
Guns in school, shootings. I think that's the biggest thing on the list, man. You just pray that these children are safe, because you just never know.
Yeah. I thought about that pizza I used to get in school. That thing was real good. They ain't getting no food like we used got. And listen, we used to eat breakfast for free. Now y'all pay for everything. Now it's like, you got to you can't. I mean, you got to have what, 10,000 a year just to get free lunch. I mean, 30,000 a year. They say you make too much. I was like, what?
Well, you know what though, Brent? Some school districts are giving free lunch and free breakfast now. Some school districts in some states.
Maybe where that girl wearing that black mask yet, but not nowhere I know.
I was thinking about like social anxiety and stuff like that, because these kids have no social skills, y'all. Like, they spend all their life on Twitter and TikTok and Snapchat. So I think they need to worry about what it truly means to make friends and be in a classroom with people and go to lunch and all that stuff. I had free lunch too. That chocolate milk, that hit hard.
I did.
What?
Too.
Man, them kids don't even know. Yeah. What you think about
it? Quite open. It was tore up in the middle when you had to tap it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you spoiled it and you smash it. Anyway, okay. All right.
Me and Sherry made sure we got it. Because we needed that lunch, you know, we was on welfare, and you know, so I come from the era where we ate the welfare cheese and no frill food, so you was glad to get that lunch. But I'm with Sister Devin on this one. I think these kids worry about having to cope, like she mentioned. They have no social skills whatsoever, and they're just not bred to cope with anything anymore. They're brought up in an environment of entitlement, and so for them, it's important to be accepted, this generation. And I'm so glad that I don't have school-age children, because to try to combat that, you only have so many hours a day as a parent, you know, to try to instill in them what your values are. And you got to send them out into a world now where what's important in that world, the moment they walk out your door, is how they're dressed, how they're perceived. Do they have the latest this, the latest that? Are they up on the latest trends? And they're not even taught coping skills, where in our day, if somebody talked about your mama, you talk about their mama back. You know what I'm saying? But now they don't want to go to school, and I'm sick, and they don't like me, and this and that. And so it's just a completely different world out there in the education system for these kids, you know. So it's just it's scary. And I'm just grateful I don't have any school-age children.
Yeah, I still think that one thing that's yeah, for sure. I still think that one thing that still exists that always is just dressing and having the styles. You know, they used to steal shoes and stuff when you wore them, especially where I come from. So you had to kind of be careful what you had on, but you didn't want to not have on something nice either, because then you're gonna get clowned. So yeah, so it's still
a different way. It was a different stealing though. I've been robbed many times as a kid. But the kids that stole back then, they were just bad seeds, and you, them little fuckers, going to end up in jail or dead, because, you know, they just robbed. There was just a bad seed. But I got my sneakers out of Pathmark, out of a grocery store. I had to literally climb over into a big bin and find the left one and find the right one, because the importance wasn't on fashion like it is today. You wanted to look clean and nice, but it wasn't. We weren't teased that if you didn't have Jordans or whatnot. You know, I had five pairs of jeans, 5 shirts, pair of sneakers.
But I don't know about where you grew up, but in Texas, even if the bros didn't have money, they put so much damn starch and water in them damn jeans to sit up in that corner.
Same here.
Always super clean by washing them.
Always. There you go.
Brushes.
Yep.
They be clean as hell. So it didn't matter if the jeans cost $2 or $200.
There you go.
They gonna stand up with all that spray starch.
Stay flow. Yeah.
Because we had the iron back then.
That's right.
You know?
They showed on iron now. I mean, good Lord. They'll put on a pair of wrinkle pants all day. But one thing I saw in Mansfield ISD is they're not allowing kids to bring their phones to school, or they can't have them in the classroom, as they're going to pay like $15 fine every time they get caught with them. So good luck with that one. So I'm just telling y'all don't.
I don't
even understand what this is. Yeah. So well, I just wanted to say to all those that have children that are going in, that have kids, listen, y'all stay in your kids' business. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them act like they need their privacy. Ain't no privacy in my house. If you shut your door, I'll take the hinges off of them. So be careful. I will.
That's how I grew up. Yep.
Yes, sir. And that's why my kids have mental toughness. And that's what they don't have in school today. They do not have mental toughness. So, all right, y'all, let's keep it going, because I wanted to make time for this. I felt like we did a great job last week, sister. I felt we had a very passionate conversation. I heard some things that you were saying, and Black was real passionate. So I said I didn't get to finish asking all my questions. So I said, let me ask some more of these questions, see how we get somewhere, because that was good. That was really good. So I wanted to do part 2 of rejection, if I could. And so I want to start with this one. We talked about it. We brought our points out. If y'all didn't don't know what we talked about, just go back to last week's show and look at rejection. But I wanted to know, where's the balance? Like, rejection is a part of life. And whether the people like it or not, it's a part of life. But where do we find the balance? Is it, again, like we said last week, is it how to say it, or is it how to receive it? Or again, should we be teaching our kids that? Yeah, because I do believe rejection is the counteract to the entitlement. We need to have this balance. So I wanted to know where you guys think the sweet spot is of rejection.
I'll go first.
Right.
And it's kind of what I just said a few moments ago. I just don't think we're from the home teaching kids anymore about the value of rejection. We've raised a society, that word again, entitlement, where they're being bombarded with the idea that anything they want is there for the taking.
Yeah.
And when they're not growing up with a healthy sense of reality. You know what? It's great to be in school and somebody can tell you you can be president if you want to. And I guess in theory that's true. But there needs to be a healthy dose of reality in there to let somebody know that, well, you can't be president if you don't take your ass to school and get a decent education. You're just not going to wake up one day and just because you're cute and you're fine and you're handsome and you got straight teeth and they're going to let you president. It doesn't work that way. And so rejection is the same thing. I wish that starting from the home, but we've taken discipline out of home and discipline out of schools, that we were teaching young people more that not everybody's going to like you. You may be cute to me, but somebody else might not find you cute or attractive. And that's okay. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to be your friend. And so we're not even teaching young men that anymore. There was a time when young men, like I said on last week's show, we were bred to understand no. Many girls are going to say, no, I don't like you. Your big old lips. My nickname in school was Booty Lips, And so there was a hardness that was built in. I was real skinny, real big lips, and so, but that built character in me, because being that I knew that I wasn't physically attractive enough to get the girls, I had to develop other aspects of my personality. So I was the smartest kid in school. I was a fucking genius, very coordinated. And so even though the little pack I ran with, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't the first one picked, but that developed a skill in me as I got older to know what worked for me. And so the sweet spot, I think, is probably helping develop in kids a healthy sense of not everybody loves you. Not everybody's your friend. You're not going to be popular. The world doesn't belong to you. And in fact, the world doesn't owe you shit. That you have to earn what you're going to get. And rejection can be a good thing as well. And we need to start putting all negative connotation on rejection. We live in a world now where every place is supposed to be open to you. I said this a million times. I don't belong everywhere. I don't need to be invited everywhere. It's okay if you don't want me there. That's fine. Rejection is not necessarily a bad thing. Some places I don't need to be. Some people, they're not good for me, and that's okay. I just wish we build a healthy respect for it, because it builds character, in my opinion.
Cool. Thank you, sister. What's the balance?
I first want to say that's because them girls were talking about your lips, because back then they didn't know what they could do. But anyway, I just want to say that entitlement is what makes it difficult today for kids to just accept rejection. And all those things that you say we should tell our children. Yeah. I tried to tell my kids, but today my kids tell me that I was too tough on them. That you can't say mean stuff like that about what they can't do and what they can't say, because now it's seen as negativity. Apparently today in 2023, you're supposed to tell your kids they could be the president, and you're supposed to tell your kids that they could be an astronaut, and you're supposed to tell your kids they could go to the moon if you want to, because if not, their asses end up in counseling about talking about emotional traumas they went through as a kid because their mama didn't love on them enough. So I don't know how to handle that with kid gloves, because I wasn't raised soft like that. So that's just not in me. So I would always tell kids things like that. But I think as you get older with rejection, that gets easier, I'm going to be honest, because of like dating apps. It's so easy to just keep swiping and find somebody else if another one don't like you. I think when people get on dating apps, they learn easily to accept rejection, because out of the 30 people you see, 21 of them reject you. So I'm just saying.
I heard that. Kenny, what's the balance, man?
We're still processing. You got to understand.
I'm just saying. They said I used to call them soup coolers, and you start to think about what they can do with them soup coolers.
Yeah. Black, you still processing. I'm done.
They say something different at 21. I tell you that. Once they figured out how they can grip on the child.
Oh boy.
Sister Devin tonight, y'all.
I'm telling you. I mean,
oh my.
She showed you how to overcome your rejection. It's not soup, it's booty. I guess I don't know.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on, Kitty.
Oh man, you know what? My train of thought is all thrown off.
Okay, yes.
But I think the one thing about rejection, sometimes a no is your protection. I think we have to teach our children that sometimes you dodge a bullet from rejection. You just don't know it at that point in time because you want it so bad. That person is who you think is, flowers and sunshine and all that. But you just never know. That flowers and sunshine probably gonna be thunderstorms and god doggone and clouds and tornadoes later on. So I think you just have to teach our children it's okay. Everybody ain't gonna like you, and that's okay. And that might be the one that you probably glad didn't like you. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. I think people that are not taught that as children, they end up not learning that not learning how to cope with it as adults, and then from there it creates a problem, right? So yeah, that's the reality. Craig says kids have not been raised to accept rejection. How can they when everybody gets a participation award whenever they compete in something? Adults too afraid to hurt kids' feelings, and that's the problem. Stop letting y'all, these not y'all friends, man. So y'all just gotta come on, but we gotta make it. Rejection should not be considered like punishment. Like my kids should not think that my rejection to them doing something, if I say no, you can't go out with your friends today, they shouldn't feel, well, you hate me. I don't hate you. I love you. If I hated you, then I would. Well, anyway, I want to incriminate myself. So, but so I just want us to know that rejection is not a bad word, like I said, but it's the way people use it. And so we got to use it properly because the world has a buttload of rejection to give them, a buttload. So I just want us to keep that in mind. And so I felt like that was a good way to end that segment of rejection. So thank y'all so much for that. I wanted to get into that other stuff we were talking about last week. I'll leave it alone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at one of the favorite parts of the show. Lee Black gonna holler at y'all for a second. He's talking about he's the pappy. Now I don't know to what jury, but
oh boy,
because he ain't accepting that grandbaby of his.
You guys went right where I was hoping we would go because I've had time to digest this. And when you hear that line, I'm the pappy, you think about the movie Life. You know, and that funny scene where, you know, the prisoners and claiming this baby, and where I left you guys last week, I was, believe it or not, in a state of shock, you know, still processing things and whatnot. And so I wanted to kind of come back and just kind of bring you up to speed because sometimes you need time to digest things to fully appreciate it. And I wanted to talk just really quickly. I'm not going to go down too many rabbit holes, but I was watching this movie called A Journal for Jordan. If you haven't seen this, it's Denzel Washington movie, directed it. It's got Michael Jordan in there. What's his name? Michael B. Jordan. What's his middle name? Michael B. Jordan in there. Okay. Very good movie. Good love story about a soldier who basically I'm not going to tell a plot. It's still worth watching. He leaves a journal for his son. He doesn't live and leaves all these life lessons. And it got me to thinking about fatherhood. And I was sitting up in bed the other night and I literally broke out in tears thinking about the message that I'm sending and my level of shock. And I wanted to kind of come back and just bring you guys up to speed. We have so many bad examples of fathers, and sometimes that's what we see. I think about Will Smith, who talked about how he went too far in making the movie Emancipation. And he said, quote, just bringing it up, I start to get teary. I wanted to feel the degradation of slavery, and I went too far in. That level of human brutality. I had the chains on my neck, and we were working. I wanted the real weight of it. I wanted real chains. They put it on my neck, and they were fitting it for some. He goes on and talk about comparing his acting role to real life slavery. He further, in another interview, talks about how at the height of his family's fame, how they were all unhappy. All at the time when Jaden was in Karate Kid, his daughter was doing the whip my hair and all of those things.
I shouldn't have put it up.
And they were famous. And he was talking about how they were all so monumentally unhappy and how riches is this and that. And it was spoken like a real aristocrat. When you're close to worth the $300 million and you can sit here and tell us how horrible your family is doing because of the fame and the riches that you have, and you want to compare a role that you took in emancipation to slavery. Oh my God. We think about Dwayne Wade and moving to California, and Mio recently got in trouble with Twitter because he stood his ground when it came to gender identity. And he said, if I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more. And I don't have a problem with that. And he goes very deeply in doubling down on how a 5 and a 6-year-old should not be in a position to make a decision about life-altering things. He says, when did we have parents stop being parents? And I bring all of this up because we don't have enough fathers out here speaking up in light of everything that's going on. We hear women speaking up, but we become afraid as fathers to say something. And one of the things that really hit home with me, one of our viewers, DJ, shout out to you, DJ, to see the love you have for your son, and this is your first child, and I see pictures of you and Kobe. Man, I said it to you the other week. There is nothing like the love that a father has for his son. And Kenny, you know what that's like. And Brenton, you just talked about the lessons you're imparting to your kids, and even in rejection and the love we have for them. So I got to thinking about this movie, A Journal for Jordan. I want to end it by saying this. I see a lot of crazy shit, and social media lives forever. And Lord knows I've said some things about my son, but don't get it twisted. I love that boy. And whatever mistakes that he's made, and now he's a father. He's got to do some things. I owe it to him to let him know that I got your back. Whatever decisions you made, they're here. Those kids are here now. They're going to need you. You got to be their father. I'm your father. And as you said, Brenton, I'm not your friend. My values, they're still the same. There's still shit you can't do around me because I'm never going to be your friend. But I do want you to know, and I wanted to put this on record so that if you go back and look at this long after I've left this mortal coil, your dad is here, and I love you to death, despite the mistakes you've made and the ones you're going to continue to make. And so if this is a part of the journal that I'm leaving for you, I am the pappy. I'm your father. I'm still here. I'm still that source you can come to, and I'm going to tell you shit you need to hear, even when you don't want to hear it. And that's because I love you. And I just want more black men to stand up and speak out and stand your ground, because at the end of the day, there's not enough of us left. God bless.
Man, I'm gonna have to cut that part out, man, and send it to your boy, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So listen, awesome. I've enjoyed this show. I just Lee, I just wanted to know, did you
I want to know too.
Did you want to handle it?
Do you want to go ahead and lean forward?
Did you want to handle it?
Miss Devin, you got me speechless here.
Yeah.
I'm drinking and I'm processing.
Yeah.
I've never seen Lee Black at a loss for words.
At a loss for words, honey.
Right?
Diane got that thing tonight, honey. She said, she done shut Lee all the way up. But I tell you what, honey, he can show you a lot of other things for $7 if you want to. Just holler at him. Okay.
You in that damn thing. We got a new toy and he getting it. Oh my God.
Man, I have enjoyed this. Y'all, listen, we have so much fun on this show. We entertain ourselves, even if y'all ain't paying attention to us. So we love it. And so I appreciate it. I hope, Devin, you still got a little drink in that can for me. So thank you so much.
Sure do.
There it is, just a little bit for me. So y'all, it's final thoughts time. Brother Kenny.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you, brother. Give me your final thoughts, man.
Oh man, we are in our zone, as they say in basketball. When you hit a couple of shots in a row, and I believe our show is in the zone right now. I hope the viewers are thoroughly entertained and informed and educated too. We like to have a little fun, but I believe we're in our zone. I want to put this out to my people. I was viewing social media after this big Arkansas thing happened. The fight, and a lot of people saying we are not our ancestors, and I would disagree with that. I disagree with we are not our ancestors, because when you say that, you're saying that our ancestors didn't fight back, and that is totally not true. Our ancestors did fight back. Nat Turner fought back. He revolted. Harriet Tubman fought back. Malcolm X fought back. Dr. King fought back. Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton. Let's stop saying we are not our ancestors and say we are an extension of our ancestors. We are who they were, and we are taking it to that next level. So that's my final thoughts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bama strong. Not really. Sister. Give me your
I
final
want
thought.
to say that although I thoroughly enjoyed that video, I'm not even gonna lie and say how many times I watched it from every angle because I had to catch it and see everything that was happening. There was just a lot of activity. But now, what I want to say that as along with fighting physically and fighting with your fists, I almost wish that we could come together and we start fighting in other ways by building wealth, by getting our educations, by buying properties, by fixing our credit, by just doing other things and learning other ways to fight back. Because, yes, something was achieved. It made my night, I ain't gonna lie to you. But moving forward, no one cares because they don't see it as anything that will move forward. Like it was just a moment. But I wish that we could take from that ways that we can continue to expand that and continue to fight back and continue to stay, you know what I'm saying, our case and let that trickle over into neighborhoods and in communities. And I know that's wishful thinking and it's probably, you know what I'm saying, but if we could just learn to get educations and buy homes and buy properties and just do it that way, and trust me when I tell you that'll hurt more than a fist fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You telling the truth right there. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. All right, sir. You got a little left in the tank for us?
I'm gonna piggyback on Miss Devin. We got a viral video, and again, we can sit and enjoy the different parts of it, but I do hope it sparks some interest, like we were talking about. And it, again, for my part, it has to start with us as Black men. Kenny, like you said, we have individual examples throughout our rich history where we did stand up and fight back and fight against the system. And to your point, Sister Devin, there's a different way to fight this fight now. Watching a 16-year-old boy dive in a lake, whatever that damn thing is, and swim to get to the other side because he wanted to do something, you know what that says? Not all these young people are lost either. They're looking for direction. They're looking for something to believe in. And so it's our responsibility, you know, as older guys out here, I have to check myself not to always put them down for all the negative things. Look, that music, that's not for me. I'm sure my mother listened to my music and thought the same thing. So I'm going to let y'all have that. But I want to see past all of the hanging low pants and all of some of the stuff that y'all do and try my best to. I've got disconnected from a lot of these young people, and they're the ones that if we're going to win this thing and make a difference, I can't do it. I'm 55 years old. I need you to do it. You're the next generation. So if you're going to be the entrepreneurs and these things, maybe I can pour a little bit of what I have into you to spur you with the energy, like you said, Sister Devin, to fight back smart. We don't have to work hard. We can work smart. And I've been saying this a long time. I don't give a damn who sits at the top. Fossil face or orange, man, I'm never going to have dinner with them anyway. Where it starts is on a local level and starting to change things that can really impact our communities because we are marked people, 13% of the population. We only live in about 12 to 15 states. And I said it earlier in the show. I don't give a damn what happens in Utah. I give a damn about the states and the cities where my people live in and what impacts us. And so it's not overnight, but we have to make some changes on a local level. That's what I hope for.
Yep. I appreciate that. Miss Stacy, thank you so much for joining us and all the rest of our lovely audience. I will say we're all saying the same things. I just say what me, Kenny, Devin, and Lee decided to do is we're going to make a change here. And hopefully that influences other people. So let's just start building little piles everywhere, and then we'll set this place on fire. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, we're leaving something for these kids to come back and listen to. So because that trash out there on the, you know, on TV and all that kind of stuff, they ain't telling the truth. So we just got to leave it for them and tell the truth. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. We'll be back here again next Monday. So
thank you, Miss Stacy. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Listen, I got a question. So who, if anybody, would be the person that could talk you into doing something that you probably wouldn't really want to do? Who would be that person that could talk you into doing something that you really wouldn't? Because I don't want to do that, but they could talk you into it. Thank you, Miss.
My sister Sherry.
She could. Okay. Yeah. All right. sister, we don't let sister. Oh, you back? All right. Who could talk you into something, sister?
Probably my sister.
Okay. All right. Kenny.
I really ain't got nobody that could talk me into doing something.
Well, he ain't gonna be in this one, Stacy. So I'm gonna leave him out of this one.
He ain't gonna be in this.
He ain't gonna be in this one. All right. What you did you say somebody, Kenny?
No, ain't nobody.
Nobody can't talk it. That's a strong brother, sisters. Y'all hear him? Can't he's stubborn too. Then I mean,
unless she catch me, unless she naked and she catch me on payday.
Almost went back to my toy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, good. And Demi, you told us about that channel before. Now, come on, let's get started. Reach out to Lamar. Yeah.
Right.
No, you know what? Don't let me get that man busy. Start. Reach out. I don't know. We'll help you if you want us to. I don't know much.
That's yeah. We can help you for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. I just want y'all to take a look at this, and I'll give y'all my thoughts in just a second.
Do it. A backflip. That's the simple backflip. Do it, man. Why you still talking? I ain't got all day, man. Damn.
Listen. Anytime you see an old brother with some khaki shorts and some sandals with white socks, whatever he about to do, it ain't gonna turn out well. I already knew that wasn't going.
And his teeth was already missing.
Yeah, I already knew that wasn't gonna turn out well.
Yeah.
And he swung his arms.
Man, listen, I had to cut that down, son, because that food was taking all day too. I was like, come on, man, get to it.
A whole head injury.
Right. So, I ain't gonna tell you not to do it, but this is just a suggestion. You know, if somebody can talk you out of doing something, talk you into doing something that you shouldn't be doing, well, maybe a suggestion would be let's spend less time talking to those people the rest of this year.
Good. That's a great idea. Great idea.
But you know, I ain't gonna tell you stop talking to your family members, but just don't let nobody influence you to do something you don't want to do because you probably shouldn't be doing it. How about that, right? So yeah, let's just can we all just get along unless you live in Alabama and then put them hands on them folks, y'all. So listen, great show. I appreciate y'all, ladies and gentlemen. That is Kenny, that's Devin, and that's Lee Black, and we're gonna see y'all on Monday. Peace.